Good evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Alex Kirchner of the 13 Weather Authority. Wanted to give you a couple quick updates on the severe weather that we have in some spots of the state line right now. Still looking at a lingering warning near Durand. This will be out for about another 13 minutes for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. That's the only spot in Winnebago County that is currently under a warning. So if you're in Durand, you still want to be in that basement away from the windows for right now. Then, as we flip over to Lee County, the brand new issued warning up until midnight is for spots like Amboy as well as Sublette and Compton. This is for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So also could see some wind damage out of this, may knock down some tree branches and things. So be ready for that severe thunderstorm to rumble through between now and midnight. So as we look at things currently, we do have that thunderstorm exiting Durand. Also have a little more thunderstorm activity. It's non-severe near Roscoe, Rockton, McChesney Park, and Loves Park. That also should lift into southern Wisconsin, so not going to see these storms last too much longer in that area. Then we have to keep an eye on the storm in Lee County. So this will track through Amboy within the next 6 minutes. Lee Center with about 10 minutes to go. Ashton and Willow Creek then closer to 11:30, and then that'll progress into DeKalb County from there. So far, again, this is just looking at some wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour or so that could be causing some damage as it moves along. That may knock down some tree branches, may cause some power outages. So if in Lee County, just make sure that you're in your safe spot. Again, if you're in Amboy, if you're in Ashton, if you're in the Compton area, as well as East Grove as of right now. This is outside of Dixon. So Dixon, you're not under the warning. You don't have anything to worry about with this. Karina mentioning here, tornado sirens went off in Janesville. So we're going to give you a wide look at all of this because there is, I think, a brand new tornado warning in Rock County. I wanted to show this very quickly just to show that these are kind of the only storms that we have left. So once these move out, we should be in the clear finally as we get into the early overnight hours. And then, yeah, if you're in Janesville, there is a severe storm just to your north that is tornado warned. So I think this is right outside of Janesville or clipping the very northern end of it. You can kind of see how this looks to be like right outside of Janesville as of this point. So I think you're kind of in the clear when it comes to that tornado warning. But if you're near the Milton area, just make sure that you're ready to go with that brand new tornado warning being issued. Again, this is for Rock County, north of Janesville. No tornado warnings everywhere else. I see you have a question here from Stephanie. Is Poplar Grove in the clear? You should be at this point. Storms aren't tracking close to you. We don't see any new development on radar. You are still under the tornado watch, but this only goes out for about another hour. So we're not clear of the watch yet, but there aren't any storms working close to you, so I think you might be able to rest a little easier if you're in Poplar Grove, if you're in Boone County, that kind of thing. And, you know, a brief look at future track here does show any of this isolated activity really done by midnight. So I think midnight is kind of our nice little cutoff point here. We head into early Wednesday. We should be free of these storms thanks to a cold front coming through and kind of shutting all of this off. So again, if you're just hopping on here, we have warnings out for Rock County, the Durand area, and Lee County. Severe thunderstorms expiring as we get deeper and deeper into the night. We can see that this one for Winnebago County is really out for only about another 9 minutes. So this is for 60-mile-an-hour gusts right near the Durand area. And then as we look into Rock County, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning out until about looks like 11:30 or so, with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Again, this is for just a severe thunderstorm warning. As I turn on that tornado warning, that is, again, just north of Janesville. You're looking at that tornado possible tracking into areas like Milton up next within the next about make sure we got the right warning up here. Yes, until 11:30, so about another 15 minutes to be tracking into the Milton area again within about 10 to 15 minutes. Should be skirting around Janesville. Janesville is not under the warning right now. Same for Beloit. But if you hear the sirens going off, that is why this tornado-warned storm would be north of Harmony and near the Milton area. So in general, it looks like that tornado warning is basically north of Highway 14. So if you're south of Highway 14 around the Janesville area, you should be in the clear there. Gregory mentioning, are we all clear for rural Cherry Valley? Again, you've got no storms working close to you, so you should be looking all right. Jamie's wondering, what is Beloit, South Beloit looking like? Again, just hearing the siren going off. So if you're just joining us now, we do have in Rock County a tornado warned storm, but it is north of Janesville. So if you're hearing the sirens go off countywide, it's probably for that. But Beloit, South Beloit, Janesville, no tornado warnings for you. Natasha's wondering here, assuming Kirkland is in the clear, seems to be missing us this time. I think you are, again, not located under any of that, so you should be in the clear. And Dan mentioning South Beloit, some heavy rain and wind right now. So that is part of the severe thunderstorm warning for your area, but not the tornado warning. So here is radar showing that. You can see that the storm near Durand almost done. It's moved towards Avon. Beloit getting possibly some strong gusts, potentially up to 60 miles per hour, and some heavy rainfall. So those are the spots up next when it comes to who is getting the thunderstorms. So Beloit, again, just in a severe thunderstorm warning. You're right on the edge of that. Could get some blustery winds as well as some heavy rain. Janesville, you're outside of that tornado warning. It is just to the north of you, but still expect some severe thunderstorm activity with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Not really picking up on exactly where that tornado may be. If anything, it might be just to the north of the Milton area, seeing a very, very faint couplet, if anything, on radar. So and just got an update from meteorologist John Juergens that tornado warning for northern Rock County probably going to expire within the next minute or so because rotation has faded away, thankfully. Any kind of strong rotation that would produce that tornado out of the picture. So let's turn our attention now towards Lee County. We have that kind of fresh severe thunderstorm warning. That storm is located right over Amboy right now. It is, again, tracking to the northeast, so might avoid the Sublette area after all. But if you're in Amboy, may want to get down to the basement or just be ready for some blustery winds. We've got some strong winds and some heavy rainfall over that area right now. It'll be crossing Highway 30 quite soon. It'll be heading towards Franklin Grove, as you can see, within about the next 15 minutes or so. Lee Center would be up next with that. Same with Ashton. Looks like Willow Creek, Compton, Pawpaw, Sublette. You're probably on the outside of this. So as I put on a track of this, you can kind of see that you're right outside of that window. So it would be Amboy, Lee Center, Ashton. Those are the spots up next with all of this. And Lee Center to Ashton, you're looking at about 5 to 15 minutes before those storms get to you as they work their way into northeast Lee County. So those are the active warnings that we have currently, and I want to zoom way out to just show you that once these thunderstorms fade out or move out, we should be done. We're not really looking at much else forming. Basically, there's a cold front coming through, and that will help push these storms out, settle things down. We finally have quieter weather over the rest of the night. So, you're welcome to the couple people that were saying thank you. So Natasha and Nikki, yeah, that's what we're here for. Angelica's wondering, is Janesville safe? So yes, you're no longer looking at that tornado warning near you, and it was to your north anyway. So that thankfully you weren't really threatened by that. That said, you still could get some severe thunderstorm activity. So we're going to zoom in now back towards the Janesville area. Again, that tornado warning likely to expire soon, but keep an eye on these strong severe thunderstorms right outside of Beloit, near Clinton. That's probably heading away from you, but the one near Newark, you can see that's probably going to track into Janesville. I would say within the next 15 minutes, could have some strong wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. And Stephanie's wondering, when is the cold front coming through? That is a good question. Let me pull up the current temperatures, because some spots like Rockford got to 90 degrees for the first time today, and you can kind of see where the cold front is in some ways. A lot of rain-cooled air probably right at about here. We've had a lot of thunderstorm activity in this spot. That front may not be quite through all of our area just yet, which is why we're getting, again, some storms to spark up, outside of the Amboy area. Still in the 80s to upper 70s, but I think that front is getting pretty close to us. pull up the wind gust map and might be able to see where that wind direction change is. It's not necessarily very definitive, but in general, that cold front is coming through, and that will drop those temperatures down plenty. As you look across the Midwest, we're still in the 80s now, but 50s to 60s are right behind that front. That's what's sliding in for us later tonight, and highs will only be in the 70s for tomorrow. And that's a big reason why we had a big round of severe weather across the Midwest, is that we shot up to 90 and then right back down to 75. Deep area of low pressure, so that kind of sloshing back and forth resulted in that severe weather coming across our backyard. So, thought I saw a couple other interesting questions. Kirsten's wondering, do you think Rockford is done for the night? I think Rockford likely to be in the clear. I don't think you'll see any other severe weather threats as we are just monitoring or kind of babysitting this one in Lee County, and that would track away from Rockford. So Rockford should be a little quieter for the rest of the night. I see someone is asking, Brooks wondering about the threat level for the area. Technically, that has dropped down plenty. I don't think the outlook necessarily has changed much from the Storm Prediction Center, but not anticipating that to go back up. That should continue to fall over the rest of the night. And then again, we're in the clear tomorrow. Sunshine and 70s ahead. Much quieter stretch until we get to the holiday weekend. And let's see. Cacique's wondering, when are the storms supposed to stop? Depending on your backyard. For most of us, I think we will all be in the clear by midnight. Again, we still have one severe storm that we are monitoring in Lee County, and then some activity in Rock County in southern Wisconsin. Everywhere else is pretty quiet, but I think across the board uniformly, we get to midnight, we should be all done with storms for a couple days or so. And let's see. Claudia is wondering, will these continue to the east around Cook County? It'd be pretty tough to see if these actually hold all together that far east because there has been a decent drop-off with all of this over the night, and I do believe Cook County was sitting outside of a lot of this, so I think that you probably won't see, a big spike in storms late tonight. Not anticipating like that tornado watch to get bumped out towards you. So I think, if you are watching us a little closer to Lake Michigan, you're probably going to be fine over the rest of the night or so. Kyle's wondering here, what does Friday's storms look like right now? If anything, it'd be some scattered showers and storms going into Friday evening. Not anticipating any severe weather as of right now. I mean, things could still change there, but the environment will be a little different than what we saw as of today. So plan on some rain and a few rumbles of thunder going into Friday evening. So it's things like, if you're going down to City Market, really pay attention to the forecast because there could be some rainy weather that might interfere with that. If you're hitting the road for the holiday weekend, may have difficult driving conditions at times, or if you're trying to camp, maybe you're going to Rock Cut, that kind of thing, might be in for kind of a soggy night. So that's kind of how that all looks as of right now when it comes to Friday. It'd be coming through roughly during the evening, but the timing is still just a little bit up in the air. So I can say in general, the best chance for showers and storms will be Friday evening into Friday night. We then will be dry by Saturday. Gloria is wondering, Rochelle, getting any more storms? You might get a little of the action that's ongoing in Lee County. We'll get you back to a track on that in just 1 second. I want to kind of pull up some additional information from the National Weather Service just in case. No new updates as of yet in the Lee County storm, starting to kind of weakened some, so that is some good news. Maybe we get out of some of that severe weather as we go deeper and deeper into the night. So we'll kind of go back to, again, the general outlook with all of this. If I can get back over to the radar, bear with me just for a second. So Lee County, again, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning out until midnight. This is kind of working past Amboy towards Franklin Grove, and I know someone asked about the Rochelle area. So doesn't look likely that you'll be getting any kind of severe storms out of this, but you could end up with a thunderstorm within the next about 20 minutes or so. So whatever's kind of left over from the stuff moving out of Amboy will probably get to Rochelle, but not likely to get to that severe strength because it is showing some signs of weakening. So hope here is that it continues to die down as it gets close to you, but be ready for some blustery winds, some lightning, some downpours, that kind of thing. And Kyle bringing up, they've got 75 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts around the Madison area. So southern Wisconsin, kind of north and southwest, north of Janesville, towards Madison, and then especially southwest Wisconsin was getting hit really hard today with all sorts of severe weather and tornado warned storms. I know the Madison area was pretty busy with all that activity. So not great the farther north you move from Janesville, which, by the way, tornado warning expired. You're looking at some severe weather possible moving into Janesville with some gusts up to 60 miles per hour. But all of that wind threat as well as that tornado threat has kind of disappeared from Madison eastward up until you get to about Watertown and Fort Atkinson. Janesville, again, could get some gusty winds up to about 60 miles per hour shortly here, but thankfully that tornado warning has expired. So we'll continue to babysit this storm in Lee County. Again, showing some signs of weakening, so that is good, but still could have some gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. Just worked past Lee Center and heading towards... It looks like it'll skirt around Franklin Grove. So Ashton, Rochelle, you're kind of up next by the time we get to close to about 11:30. And again, with these winds dying down, it might not be too blustery, but it still could get some decent downpours to work through your backyard. Still under a tornado watch until midnight. So this is for just in case some of these severe storms continue. But so far, so good in any kind of updated warnings across our backyard. And I'll get you back over to Future Track just to kind of show that once a lot of this is out, by the time we get to midnight, we are done the rest of the night. So thankfully, there's not a ton to report on Future Track in general. And if you're just jumping on live here on our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube account, our website, we've got one severe thunderstorm that we are watching in Lee County. That's up until midnight, could have 60 mile an hour wind gusts, and really not much else moving in beyond that. The radar is looking very quiet right now. So this really should be the last of the storms for our backyard. So Stephanie's wondering, when are the winds going to die down? So we've got some blustery winds really through the rest of the night. We get into tomorrow, they stay breezy, so we could see gusts up to 25, 35 miles per hour, but they're not going to be as strong as what we're seeing currently and what might kick up later tonight. So we could see those winds spike a little again. Like right now, they're gusting at about 40 miles per hour out of the south. Eventually, they're going to turn to out of the west. It may still gust up to 35, 40 miles per hour overnight, but just from a different direction. By sunrise, they settle down some, and then we get into tomorrow with a fairly breezy day ahead. So hopefully that answers that question about the winds. I'm going to pull up Future Track, actually, and kind of show off that. Hopefully I can pull up Future Track. There it is. So you can see here that the winds slowly work their way out of the west by the morning. Gusts by that point would be down to about 25, 30 miles per hour. So breezy day ahead, but not as windy as what we're experiencing right now. And we'll just continue to ride those stronger winds out throughout the day tomorrow as that colder air continues to blow in. So let's see, Garrett mentioning power out in South Beloit. That and hopefully you get power back soon. So thanks for that little update, and sorry that you're without power. That's never fun. Not surprising because we have had a lot of different scattered wind gusts throughout the course of the evening. As at times, we had reports of gusts up to 70, 80 miles per hour in Stevenson County, 60 miles per hour elsewhere, and that, as a result, can result in plenty of power outages. So hopefully that is all back by the time it gets to early in the morning or so. So Again, we're still watching the one warning out for Lee County. This is until midnight, gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Anything for Winnebago County and even towards Beloit, you're pretty well done with severe weather in that direction. A lot of those warnings have now expired. You can see that it's mostly just to the east of Janesville that we're still getting some gusty winds up to about 60 miles per hour or so. So back to Lee County. It's our one last warning still left over. This will be working towards Ashton within about 5 minutes or so. You can see an additional thunderstorm kind of developing behind that. That would move closer to Lee Center, I would say about 5 or 10 minutes from now. Expected to go around the Sublette area and not bother you too much in that direction. So we got some fresh timing on all of that. But that's the only warning that we see out currently. This will be hopefully expiring as we get closer and closer towards the Rochelle area about 11:30 or so. So I think overall we are going to just kind of keep an eye on this, but these storms look to be winding down. A lot of these warnings are expiring, so we're going to wrap up our digital coverage here. If we do have any additional updates, we'll cut in as necessary, but really, again, last little forecast bit. By the time we get to about midnight, a lot of this is done, is expired, and we can rest easy with a quieter day ahead for tomorrow. If you need an update on how the weather looks moving forward, WREX.com's got the forecast there. You can also tune in tomorrow morning with meteorologist Claudia Olick. She'll get you up to speed on a much cooler and quieter Wednesday during 13 News today. So thanks for sticking with us late tonight and keeping an eye on these storms. And like I mentioned, if we do see anything else, we'll let you know. Otherwise, things look to be winding down and quieting down. So thanks for joining us here. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you at some point tomorrow.